back after what it seems like almost a month. It's like 3 weeks, I think. Something crazy. But we're back and ready to play some Pathfinder. Last time you guys spent most of the session negotiating with the Elven Ambassador and Rachel about the fate of Aluvial. You guys settled on the main points of the contract where no running, and 33,000 that he's allowed to spend to gear himself up, as well as you. And you would fight in a neutral location, Gethin. You are to set the date, and once you set the date, you let the Elven Ambassador know, and you will sign the deal, and then you will fight on that date. I'm trying to think if there's anything else important that...
No outside help, I remember was one.
Yeah, and you get 3 rounds of prep of buffs before like the doors open and you guys are free for alling or whatever. I guess that's a bad way to say it. Before you are able to interact with each other, you'll have 3 rounds of uninterrupted buffing or whatever you want to do. And you can... I know there's a contention about walking in with magic. No magic walking in except for the exception of your familiar thing. Like, that's fine. But no, like, 24-hour buff that you did beforehand. Every other buff has to be done within the 3 rounds. Same for him. No, since he doesn't have familiar or whatever, he's just walking in and doing 3 buffs. Or 3 rounds of whatever. Yeah, I think that was the most important parts, unless you guys remember anything else.
What did Evron do last session?
Evron took some time away from the party to collect his thoughts and not get involved in this elven issue. But now the party can reconvene.
Not an elven issue. It's an Aluvial was a dick issue.
That is
the elves are kind of
not
dicks
true.
too. Everyone was a little bit of a dick.
Literally tried to save the party. Let me look.
Right,
Yeah, I gotta find those notes because it was something I wanted to talk to Everon about in case I die.
Save the parties a little,
know, so.
You know. I guess it's from each perspective, you know? But the party can reconvene. You guys are back in your hometown of Aldebaran if you want to be, or you can be in Rachel still. I don't think we actually said you teleported back, but you could, but I'll leave that up to you. I guess I'll throw it to the players. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to meet up? And what do you want to discuss?
It would probably be best just to go back to the capital and back to Aldebaran rather, and talk about things because we at least know we have privacy that
I would want
is not likely to be impeded.
Yes, I'm trying to find a suitable track as you all reconvene and discuss what you want to do about all this. Where is my political music that I like for these kind of discussions? It should be here somewhere. I just used it. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Anyways, you guys can meet up in your scry-proof, listen-proof area in your tavern and discuss what you want. What do you guys want to talk about? You can. You don't have to RP refilling in Evron unless you want to, unless you want to exclude some details or make up details. But Evron is filled in otherwise, unless otherwise noted about what you guys did.
I don't think there's anything really that we need to skirt around in this particular case.
Like 4 hours and he summarized it in 2 minutes. Okay.
That's because it was a lot of negotiating.
Yeah.
There was a lot of negotiating.
Shit, no wonder I'm not hearing music in the game.
It's okay. I'm not. I haven't found my track yet. I don't know where it went.
Super annoying.
Did Roll20 update?
Yeah, there was a Roll20 update a while ago. Here we go.
Close it without saving.
How come my volume is just like not reflecting of this my volume? I don't know. Does it sound too loud to you guys?
It's fine to me.
Fine by me.
And I have it at mid-level.
Strange. I'll just adjust the master level, I guess. Weird. Alright, yeah. You guys are back in your safety. No one can hear you. No one's listening into your knowledge. What do you guys discuss? What, do you want to get in touch with your Geffen contacts to set up a date? Or do you even want to still do it in Geffen? You can do it somewhere else.
Oh, that was...
Now it's real loud.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
That, like, exploded
Is
in
that
my ear.
track just not balanced?
Holy shit. This is the first time I'm seeing this new
Same.
settings cog.
Yep.
I literally put the music to, like, the lowest setting. Is it, like, reasonable now, or is it still, like, blasting?
No, that's better.
Okay, weird.
Now it's quiet even.
Oh, this wasn't this way yesterday when I was looking at things.
Yeah, I don't know when they did this change, but... But yeah, PCs are together. What do you guys want to talk about, if anything? If not, we can just pick a date and fast forward time. For reference, it is we'll say, I have on the 7th of Dalek, but let's just move to the next day. Say, start fresh on a new day. So it's the 8th of Dalek, a Wednesday.
Well, Aluvial, how are you feeling on all this?
I feel like I feel like I have a chance of winning, but there's no real way of knowing how it's going to turn out, you know?
Chance doesn't inspire a lot of confidence here.
I was a lot more confident. Thinking about it, there's no way to know how the tides are going to turn, you know?
You're always so confident. What's different now?
Well, I usually can set things up myself where I can always win. It's not really an option here. Nothing worked out quite how I imagined.
It's
Like,
very strange.
imagine you were a gambler. Imagine you're a gambler. And you cheated all the time, right? So you're used to stacking the deck. You're used to outplaying your opponents. Your hands are quick so they never catch you. And then, for some reason, everything fails. They see your hand, they see the tricks, and nothing you do works. There's no way to know what way the wind's going to blow.
But that is, you're describing a skilled competitor. You're describing someone who is doing the same thing you're doing.
Well,
they
it's not
are
that.
essentially cheating.
It's not that. It's I could have never imagined the queen saying, "Oh, it's fine that this guy got 2 people killed." Like that was I've never experienced anything like that.
How many things have we been technically state sponsored to kill that had?
No, it's a foreign invader came to her soil without her approval and then murdered or was responsible for one person dying and then outright purposefully murdered another. That's not something you can plan for. I thought immediately I was trying to avoid the conversation with the queen to avoid that, and she's just like, it's just a couple of people. Like,
with the intention to assassinate another.
Right, like couldn't have seen that coming. Him having my exact same plan, like he couldn't really plan for that. Like there's too many. The variables are too high for my mind to wrap around. So all I can really do is try, fight, and see what happens. Who knows? And then you have the meddling of the gods. You never know how that's going to go. Like, you can have the best plan in the world, and then the ground could crumble from under you.
Well, you do have one of them on your side, and I'm sure he wants this soul just as much as...
On my side? He conspired to make this happen, as far as I'm concerned.
How do you perceive that?
Oh, I assumed you meant Dalek.
Well, when I tried to bring the guy back, to use him as proof of my innocence, he was like, no, you can't bring him back. And I was like, oh. That's strange. It's just I don't know. I mean, I always thought I would be afraid in this type of situation. I'm not so much afraid. I think I've accumulated enough power where I could probably accomplish the things that I was setting out to do. So I guess I reached a point where, I mean, I'm okay with it, really. I'm largely worried about you guys. Like, I don't know what's going to happen to you guys. I actually did want to talk to Everon if at all possible.
I can give you some space if that's what you need.
Here.
Well,
this has to be private.
It can be with everybody, but I think it would be more comfortable for everybody if it was just me and Everon.
That's fine. I'll step out.
No,
Okay.
If you kill him, though, the full force of the country will be upon you. And I'll just wink at him, like, trying to let him know that I'm just being playful.
I wanted a break. I didn't want to come back and have a deep conversation.
You know, you have that right. That's fine. It's mostly for your benefit. If you don't want to hear what I have to say, that's fine.
I mean, since you might die, I feel like I have to.
No, I've changed my mind. It's unimportant.
Tell me.
Oh, it's unimportant.
It was so important that you wanted to talk to me privately. I hesitate, and now it's no longer important.
If you don't value my insight, and that's my strongest attribute, then maybe I'm wrong.
Oh my god, you sound like my partner.
Damn, she just called you Bissy. That's like the most offensive statement.
I mean, no, really, I just called him Steven, but...
Let's have the conversation with everyone here then. It seems like you'd be more comfortable with that. So if you were going to rate everyone here on a scale from most good to least good, how would you rate them? And why?
That's not really an exercise I would seek to participate in.
Why not?
What would be the benefit of trying to rank us? Also, I don't know everyone's intentions and inner thoughts.
Well, you can watch their actions and judge based on that.
Right, but why is it my place to judge?
Well, I was going to have everyone do it since everyone's here.
But why?
Well, you seem free to make judgment calls about me and what I do. And it's strange to me that you feel like that's something that you have the right to do. And the fact that you do it with me and not other people is dumbfounding.
Wait, did you actually call us back in?
I don't know if you guys left or not.
No, we stepped out. Yeah, we stepped out, but then you said you were going to call us back in.
Yeah,
so
I'm like listening to it like with my ear up against the door, but I'm also eating like crunchy food, so I can't hear anything.
The best of plans.
Well, I assume you would make it so that no one could overhear you through the door, so you probably can't.
I've done nothing to stop them from hearing.
No, I know. I just
gave them the option to not hear.
I mean, in general, because you guys were like paranoid about privacy, I'm assuming it would not be easy for an individual to overhear you guys whilst trying to listen through the door.
Yeah, she's also not that interested in eavesdropping on this conversation, so...
So for the record, do you guys
so
do get the back?
So then I would have just said, there's the two of us here. I'll do it if you would like, and then you can do it as well.
What is the benefit in this?
It seems to me that your focus is misappropriated. You're looking at the wrong thing, and it's dangerous.
I'm confused. You are potentially going to die or be very injured, and this is
if I'm not here,
you want to
yes.
have?
If I'm not here, this needs to be addressed. The only reason I'm even bringing it up is because I might not be.
It's very interesting that you think I don't judge anyone else in the party. I think they would disagree.
On the scales of good and evil. You judge people, but you consider me evil by my mere existence.
If I considered you evil, I wouldn't be in a party with you. Do I think that you take stupid and selfish actions? Yes. Overall, if I
am I the only
evil,
one who does those things?
No, we all make bad decisions.
How many selfish actions have you taken?
in my life.
No, currently, recently. You literally just left me to die.
How did I leave you to die?
So, there's an assassin in town, here to kill me. They go talk, you walk away and take Chandra. If that assassin kills Bissy, they come and kill me next. You know they don't listen to reason, and you know they're here specifically to kill me.
One, I think you are absolutely more than capable of handling yourself. But two, every person has limits. Like, I did as much as I could, and I could not handle any more. So the best thing for me to do in that situation is to take care of myself so that I could help other people in the future. You know, the whole
away when two members of your party was in mortal danger. Seems selfish. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so you want to talk to me and then not Cha?
Well, no, Cha. I wanted to talk to you about Bissy. How many people do you count Bissy as having killed recently? Outright murdered. Innocent people. How many? There's the 2 statues. He wanted information so bad that he was willing to risk 4 lives and cost 2. He incinerated 3 guards running away for their lives. And you might want to pin that on me, but when I first joined the party, one of our first interactions, there were enemies that were evil running away for their lives, and he incinerated them while they fled. So you can't say that Maya influenced it. But me dominating a person is evil or wrong or selfish, while Bissy is a mass murderer. You don't see any... I'm just saying, your focus is in the wrong place.
I am so glad Bissy is not hearing this.
That's why I didn't want
this
Bissy
would be the end of the campaign.
My point to you is this. Instead of spending your time judging and thinking about me, you should be thinking about your partner.
I should also apparently be thinking about Cha, because she did the same thing in the situation. I feel like this is an extremely unpredictable
How many people has Cha killed?
And that you are just
I don't
trying
remember
to
Cha killing
sow
anyone.
divisions in the party.
I'm trying to get you to focus on saving Bissy. Because if I'm gone, if I die in this combat, Bissy is rolling down a steep hill. And that's not what I want for Bissy. Bissy has goals that I think are worth reaching. And in the current direction he's going, it's not going to end well. And I was going to keep it to myself and try to slowly guide him in the right way. But I may not be here to do that, which is why we're having this very uncomfortable, for me, conversation. You think I really wanted to have this conversation? I'm planning for how to not die to somebody far stronger than me. This is not a conversation I want to have. It's a necessary conversation.
You're also having this conversation then with Bissy, I assume.
No.
I'm not his puppet master.
Bissy will not hear this well from me. As his partner, you'll know how to deal with it.
Right.
And it may seem unfair.
I've been able to control Bissy in any way
before. It may seem unfair. I'm literally laying this on your lap. You have to decide what to do. I'm not going to do anything with it. If I'm still here, I'll try to guide them in the right way, like I've been doing, with all of the constant opposition to the contrary of people telling me how evil I am and how everything I'm doing is wrong, and trying to save the party is a bad thing, and trying to convert our enemies to our side instead of outright killing them is a better solution. In spite of all of that, I will still try to gear Bissy in the right direction. But if I'm not here, there's no one else to do it but you. And I'm doing the best I can the way I know how to do it. I don't know any other way. I'm trusting you to find the right and the better way.
I feel like you're not really giving Bissy any credit for like being an autonomous being who has self-awareness and the ability to, I don't know, make his own decisions. Have they all been great? No, but it's not like somebody else can change him.
Out of curiosity, what you're saying right now to me is Bissy should be allowed to make his own decisions, up to and including murdering lots of people. But I can't make my own decisions when it comes to dominating somebody who may betray and kill us. That's what you're telling me right now?
Yes, clearly that is what I said.
Okay, tell me where I'm wrong in what I just said.
This is not a productive conversation.
So you can't explain it in the way that it makes sense to me?
Apparently not.
You only try it once and in one way. You could try it in a different way.
Okay. Do you want to let me talk again?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
So, anytime anyone in our group makes decisions that I think are unwise, not in the best interest of the party, etc., I bring it to their attention. I'm not someone who silently sulks or judges. If I'm upset with somebody, they know. I am just saying, I'm not one to try and mold somebody without their knowing. I will talk with them. I will tell them my concerns. But this whole idea of trying to guide somebody behind the scenes to do something else, that is not my approach.
You don't see the value in helping somebody in a way that isn't abrasive?
If you find me talking to people directly abrasive?
No, I'm saying that if
you're feeling.
For instance, I dominate people, right? Like the troll. The troll was there to kill us, and I dominated. And you were like, how could you take away his will? And I'm like, well, his will is gone, but he's still alive. Maybe eventually he could be redeemed. Something along those lines. The same for the elf. And actually, the entire story that you have about the elf is I dominated him, and the moment he was no longer a threat, I tried to let him go, and he was like, I'm gonna kill you anyway. That's what I've been like with everyone that I've ever dominated. How many people that Bissy killed could be redeemed? 0, because they're dead. So my path can lead to redemption. Death leads to only death, because you can't come back from being dead. But you literally can't unless you have an agreement like I have with Forno. But what I was saying was, you seem far more focused on me and my tactics than Bissy killing people. I don't remember a conversation at all when we left Child's Place after he murdered 3 guards. Have you ever been part of an evil organization? Probably not. When you work with evil people, right? You don't try to take the whole organization. It doesn't work. So you take the leaders. So the leaders are the ones who go inside and do all the bad stuff, and the people who are just guards are probably standing guard. The leader was killed doing bad things. The guards heard the commotion and were fleeing. They were probably normal, innocent guards, and they were incinerated for fleeing for their lives.
I do not believe that you would not have done the same thing.
But I could have and didn't. So what do you mean?
Because he did it.
I could have easily done it before him.
Right. And he took care of it.
Let's follow that logic strand. How many people have you seen me kill?
If you ask another quantitative question,
how many people have you seen me kill?
I don't know. This is
0.
not a diary
Actually,
I keep.
You saw me kill the one person when the dragon came to attack us in the tower. It's the only person you've ever seen me kill. How many people have you seen Bissy kill?
I literally just told you.
Well, I just told you 5.
No. If you interrupt me again, this conversation
You've been interrupting me over and over. Actually, you know what? That's a good idea. I'm going to turn around and leave.
Yeah, you guys can angrily split up after a heated conversation. I imagine Bissy and Chandra are maybe waiting outside the room. This was only a few minutes.
Bissy's gonna have gone and make some tea.
Sure. Where's Chandra at?
Eating her snacks.
If unless Bissy looked at her, seemed like he wanted to be alone, she'd probably just follow him.
Yeah, you can be in the kitchen area with me.
Yeah, we can actually just go to that map, just get an idea where people are. So yeah, where does Evron and Aluvial split up to?
I stay in the room. I assume that's where we were.
Aluvial's probably going to drink heavily and think about the impending doom of potential death.
Yeah. So this is like the morning time of. So the tavern isn't full, but there's some people in here. But yeah, so if you go down, everyone stays up in the room. The rest of you can be in the main, or some of you in the kitchen making tea. Aluvial, you can head down. Danae is there. He can serve you up some heavy alcohol. And, I mean, you do guys still have to pick a date. You don't have to do that now, but I don't know when you all want to meet back up and discuss anything else. But
were you guys down there in the bar?
They are in the kitchen.
Okay, so I won't see them. So yeah, I'm just going to be sitting at the bar drinking. Eventually, if they leave out, I'll wave them over.
Yeah, so you guys want to drink your tea in the main area, or do you drink it in the kitchen?
I'm trying to give them as much privacy as I can, and I know that if the two of them are talking, there's probably going to be a very angry conversation that occurs. That's kind of why Bissy went to be as out of sight as possible.
Well, the conversation was happening in the room, though, right? So,
yeah, so
but Bissy would have gotten way far away.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that's why you'd be in the back and not in the main area. I was confused.
Yeah, Bissy's basically trying to be as out of sight as possible for right now. Trying to show that, unlike some people, he respects the privacy of others.
I'm gonna grab some food and go sit down at our table.
Yeah, so once you come out, you can see, or eventually you'll see Aluvial come into the bar and sit at the bar. Both of you can make eye contact and see each other or whatever.
We get a bottle and then go sit at the table.
Yeah, you can be at your Phoenix table.
If it's just Aluvial here, I will go up to Everon.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, if it's just Aluvial here, I was gonna try to see if he looks like he wants to be alone.
Yeah, that's up to you. Come straight to the table.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if Aluvial you're hiding your emotion. If you are, you can give me a bluff check. If not, then Chandra, you can easily read.
I was gonna say, Aluvial's not angry. Aluvial's basically...
You stormed out. How are you not angry?
He felt like you were trying to force him into a corner, so he left before you could, is what he was doing.
Oh, I don't care if you leave. I'm just saying, if you storm out...
No, you kept saying... Well, basically, she kept saying that if you do X, I'm going to end the conversation. If you do Y, I'm going to end the conversation. So he said what he wanted to say, and then was like, and I'm ending the conversation, so you couldn't. And then he left.
Oh, I don't care. I was glad for the conversation
to
be over.
No, but I'm saying he didn't leave because he was angry. He left so that you couldn't leave.
Oh, just the way you played it made it seem like he stormed out angry.
No, he was just like, no, I said, and he leaves. So he's like, this, that, I forgot what I said, but he says whatever he said, and then he's just like, and
you got the last word in.
I'll end it there. That way you don't have to.
Yeah, so in long story short, Chandra, you can see he's not angry, but...
he's probably a little heated.
Yeah.
But not like...
Yeah.
I'll just offer him some of the handfuls of food that I grabbed.
I'll chuckle. No, I need to prepare for the nonsense ahead. I need to take a drink. I'm gonna pass on the pocket bread, I think.
Oh no, this is.
I appreciate the offer.
I got this from behind the bar, or not behind the bar, in the kitchen.
Technically, the bar is behind the kitchen. Sure,
That's true.
I'll take some.
Yeah, in the morning I just go back there and grab food.
A quick cutaway to upstairs as Bissy checks in on Everon. I don't know what you're doing with your own thoughts. Are you upset? Are you kind of steamed, or are you just kind of just reflecting introspectively as Bissy comes in?
I feel like the entire break I had away from the party was ruined, basically. All of the positive effects that could have had have vanished.
Welcome back!
So
I am working on a carving in the room. Wood carving to do something with my hands.
Yeah, mid-carve, Bissy opens the door and finds you in there.
Well, that was quite unpleasant.
What happened?
I'm very curious how he would have tried to have this conversation if you and Cha were in the room.
Would have been awkward.
Because he basically said, I judge him too much. Well, I don't judge you enough because you're just going around killing people willy-nilly, and he thinks you're on a very bad path. And if you want to hear all of it, I can share the memory with you. It was extremely unpleasant. He was rude and irritating, and I am glad that that conversation has ended.
That was perfect.
Bissy thinks for a minute. Do you feel like hearing the full conversation would give me a different introspective on it?
I don't know. I think it would probably be very upsetting to you. So I don't know if it is more helpful for you to hear that for yourself, because I'm not the best at remembering everything that was said. And, obviously then you can see the tone and body language and that one for yourself. Or if from what you heard, it's already enough and you don't really want to put yourself through that. I think that is a decision for you.
If Aluvial had something important to say about me to you, then it must be very important. I would like to share it.
I will not resist.
I think only a couple of minutes in, Bissy will get it. And Bissy will look to Everon and say, I understand. I'm sorry. I know what I need to do.
What does that mean?
I am a mass murderer. I need to resolve my issues.
You are not a mass murderer.
I killed 3 men. I deserve to do the time that is owed to me.
This is not how this is supposed to work.
I need to set an example for Aluvial. If Aluvial's general idea is that I am somehow performing more acts of evil than him, then I need to show that I am willing to take responsibility for my actions.
See, the problem is by you trying to do this to show that you're atoning for yourself, you do less good for the world. So you are actually putting your own interests ahead of the interests of the community. I get that you're trying to do something to show accountability, but it actually has a worse outcome. And I want you to consider that, because you are trying to put the needs of other people first. And while it seems like what you want to do could do that, it doesn't actually have the outcome that you want.
But what Aluvial argued there is that by my actions, I have proven to be to him and others to be nothing better than what I aspire to see.
Why do you care so much what he thinks? That you
because
are willing to do
all people
harm?
deserve a fair deal. And if I am the one not dealing out a fair deal, if this is genuinely Aluvial's beliefs, he can watch what happens when he gets a fair deal, the way that he wants the fair deal to be.
He is not the one who gets to judge you. Like, why does his particular opinion matter so much?
This is a person who deserves the most fair deal in many ways. He has been dealt a very unfair deal numerous times, and his unfair deal causes him to inflict the consequences of his unfair deal upon others.
And you somehow think by trying to make some big dramatic atonement that will fix Aluvial, or somehow like give him something that is equal to the value that you are sacrificing?
If he believes that it's important for you to rein me in,
then what?
Then I must be some kind of a problem. Aluvial has great insight, great understanding.
Yeah, he's also an asshole sometimes. He's also manipulative. So I feel like you have to take the whole picture into account here. And I would hope that my opinion would be more valuable to you than his.
You believe him to be manipulative?
Yes. He literally dominates people. But beyond that, he is very intelligent. He knows how to get what he wants. He has many ways of doing that do not involve his magic. And I just would prefer that you would take some time to actually think things through, talk with people whose opinions you value, and not make any rash, impulsive decisions, because that is a bad habit of yours that I think would be great for you to work on. I love you. I do not think you are evil. You have some things that you've done that are bad, but this is not the way to atone for them. We all make poor decisions, and the best thing to do is do good for the community and try and do better going forward.
Very well. I need to go for a walk and think.
Please be safe.
I will.
You should talk with Cha also.
Perhaps you should.
No, you should talk with Cha.
All right. I will go for a walk to I'm going to go to the person who we've communicated with about sending messages before. And I am going to ask them specifically if I can buy a scroll of message from them.
Scroll of sending or message?
Or scroll of sending, sorry. The scroll of sending.
Yes. You mean your wizard guy, or?
No, I don't want to go to the wizard guy. I want to go to somebody who basically is completely impartial to our group.
Okay, so you're going to pay full price, I guess. I guess it doesn't matter. But,
I mean, it could. It's not a cheap spell, but...
Well, because if you do, if you go to the crew's messengers, they can, unless it's a very private message. I mean, they're known for their discretion. They can just do it for a service fee, which is less.
I want to reach out to Mr. B.
Oh, okay.
So I don't. It's got to either be a scroll of sending or something else.
And you want an immediate response, then, right? Because you don't want to use like mundane transportation.
Correct. I am looking for the fastest response possible. I am taking Everon's advice.
Okay, yeah. Then you would know communication with Mr. B at this point. You were a trusted business partner. One of their men would have scrolls of sending on hand for specifically if you wanted to communicate with him.
Okay, then I would have one of my men go get one of them, and then I would meet up in a specific spot, maybe back at the old tavern.
Yeah.
Go up to our old room there, and then I would basically tell him to let Mr. B know there's something important that we need to discuss, and that I would value his opinion on.
Yeah, they will produce a scroll of sending. But as they do so, did they say, is this something you wish to speak with in person? He can...
Does not need to be directly in person, but this will probably take a bit of a conversation.
Sending is limited if you have a lengthy conversation.
If he can make himself available, I can always scribe to him and then we can message back and forth. Or maybe he'll have other means.
Give me 10 minutes and I will, if this is important as you say, I'm sure he can make time for you.
Very well, thank you.
For those 10 minutes, do you just wait or do you talk to anyone else?
I will just wait.
Okay. Yeah, 10 minutes later, he'll let you know Mr. B will meet you. He wants to know if you just want it to be him and you, or is it okay if his elven wizard accompanies him during the talk, or...
I am accepting of your elven companion being there with you.
And he needs a location.
Yeah. Just trying to think. Bissy is going to scout out a nearby building that is either unoccupied or where there is somebody that, like, it's either like a business where I could pay somebody off for like temporary usage of it in the night,
This
or
exists,
since
yeah.
people trust me. That is within. It also needs to be within about 300 or so feet of the building. So.
Right. Okay. Yeah, this can be done. And you said you went back to your old tavern to set this up, right?
Correct. But I'm going to be the place I'm going to have him meet with me is within that range of the new building.
Yeah. So that can be set up, and the man will let you know that it will take a few hours, but in a few hours he will meet you there.
Cool.
Do you stay in this tavern? Do you head back, or where are you killing these few hours?
No, I'll head back up to the. I'll head back up to the room.
In the old tavern in the room.
And then I'll head back up to the new tavern. Our room in the new tavern.
So as you're
Are you just walking in?
I'm going up to, or not the tavern, but up to our place.
You guys have a
Are you
direct
passing
access.
through the bar?
No,
because the access goes up a
you're
different
going
set
up
of
the
stairs.
back. Okay.
Yeah.
He's going to use this direct access route here.
Yep.
Or I don't
That's
know.
how we get up to where we're at.
But before you leave your old tavern, a man catches your eye. It's like the early afternoon, so there's not many patrons in here, but there is like a roguish figure who you're like doing your business and you're about to leave, and this guy like kind of like tries to grab your attention. You can ignore him, but
no, I'll step over and see what he wants.
He clears his throat and he says, "You are the legendary Bisaba, correct?"
Yes, that is correct.
He nods and he reaches into his tunic and pulls out a scroll case, and he slides it down the table to you. You look at the scroll case. It's made of adamantine. Has this greenish color to it. And on the seal of it, like a little cap to it, has the... I don't know if you've seen this symbol in a long time, but it has like a translucent skull etched into it, similar to the
Moroccan coins.
Yes. And he just kind of nods at you.
In Necrol, I will ask him, what is this about?
In a whisper, he says, "I am just a messenger."
I will detect magic on the object.
It does radiate magic. I believe it's moderate. Let me double check.
My spellcraft's not very high, so I'll roll it here.
You can't detect. You would know you can't detect anything if it's inside, but on the capsule or the lock, you can detect faint abjuration.
Hold on. I wouldn't get auras. I don't have a high enough knowledge arcana. Almost guaranteed. Well, maybe I could. I can. Well, I don't, because I don't have ranks in knowledge arcana.
Yeah, I mean, you're an experienced adventurer. You've seen the colors of the weaves of arcane. You can piece together. It's faint. It's not a very powerful spell. It looks to be like some sort of arcane lock.
I will try to
something
open it.
like that. Yeah, if you try to open it, it will open to your touch. But as you put your hand on the thing and it opens up, he says, "You should probably read that in private and destroy the contents afterwards." And he promptly gets up and gives you a nod and leaves some coin on the table for the drink he had, and he heads out the door.
I'll go back up to the room and read it there. Our old room. Yeah.
As you unfurl this scroll, it is written
and then explode.
No. It so as you unfurl the scroll and read it, it's written in a hand you don't recognize, but it's written in this weird ink. It's I guess you would notice it's weird because it has a yellow tint to it on the parchment instead of a purely black. It's still black from ink, but it has a weird yellow tint in it. Mm-hmm. And it I won't give you a word. I'm not going to read a word for word, but it basically says, if you're interested in betraying Mr. B for a sizable coin or whatever you wish, basically says name your price if you're willing to work with basically Maroc, and it's signed the King of Maroc at the bottom of it.
Okay, so this is very, very clear what I need to do, what I want to do. I'm going to memorize page. I am going to.
Oh wow!
Actually, before I cast memorize page, first and foremost, I am going to take the time to cast break enchantment on myself.
Okay.
Just as a preventative measure. Then I will cast memorize page on myself.
Okay.
And then I will.
And I believe your tech magic would still be up. This page radiates a bunch of different auras.
Yeah, I will seal it back up or I will. How do I want to do this? I will take out the scroll case that Volu had given me, and I will put this in that scroll case.
Okay.
And I will put a different document. I will put one of like my refugee posters or my wanted posters of Natalia in there, and the scroll case for Maroc, and then I will head out.
Okay. Yeah, so you have a few hours to kill before the meeting of Mr. B. Do you have anything specific you're doing, or are you just heading back?
No, I'm just gonna head up to my room.
All right. Rest of the party, what are you guys doing?
While Busy went up to talk to Everon, I would have actually asked Chandra if she knows anything about the arena that Busy was talking about, where the fight was going to take place.
Out of character, is that the place that we were at before, or
none of you have any knowledge of what this is besides of the vague description? The
Busy
ambassador
had seen it once when he scried on them while they were in the arena.
I'm bad at remembering names of things, so I couldn't remember if that was the place that we were where we rescued those people.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a little bit confusing, but out of character, this is an arena that is being specifically erected for this fight, or would be.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the other arena you're talking about was for mages dueling. Would not be suitable for this.
Oh yeah, that would,
because they're like open.
Dramatic that they're erecting an arena for it.
Well, it's magic, so right? They use
fabricate
fabricate and stuff. It's a wave of hand here, there. It's easy.
They're just going to use lots of taxpayer money for it.
Well, they have yet to do it because you haven't told them about it yet. But anyway.
Yes. No, I've never.
However, I would say you specifically, Chandra, being from would know that this is a common. I don't want to say PvP, but like strong adventurers versus strong adventurers. There's a common thing that people construct to do these fights, and you would have like an idea when you were speaking with the Elven ambassador. Like there is an idea of what it would be like. And I guess I can just bring you to the map, and Chandra can like visually explain this to you, Aluvial. Yeah, I'll drag all your tokens out.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Just you're not all there, but you know what I mean. This is just so you can see. Give me a moment, just a little tag. Oh yeah, if you're dragging yourself out, that's great. Yeah. So, I'm lagging because of the dynamic light. Let me just turn the lighting on.
Oh, it's working just fine for me, actually.
I just turned the lighting off. I didn't have hardware acceleration on, so I was uber lagging. I don't know if that was coming across to you as well, but turn the lighting
not
off.
For me, no.
So essentially, you see this arena as is. Chandra explains that these brick walls will tear away after the allotted time that you both agree to. So this will tear away, and you both would start in these enclosed areas for your 3 rounds.
Is it made of wood or stone?
These are all made of stone. Or brick, stone, whatever you want to call it. The outside is stone as well. The ground is sand. There is the specific map is... it will have water, but Chandra would... Having water isn't common. But the map you would have water, but I mean, it doesn't matter.
It was about 80 feet across. Stone enclosures to start.
Yeah, so your 3 rounds would start in an enclosed stone walls, and then they would tear away after those 3 rounds, and then you could move around the arena within a certain amount of time, and then the middle wall will break away after some time. And then these are pillars that provide full cover if you're behind them. This will give you full cover if you lie down, stuff like that. So there's like cover, there's water, there's ways to go underground if you want to. There's the arena is open ceiling, so you could fly up, stuff like that.
Man, Charlie, this is way more information than I hoped from this conversation.
Well, I mean, I've seen them in but usually they're not that well built.
They change in some of their characteristics, but in general.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Usually they're more makeshift and like a couple of low level spells because it's usually not sanctioned. So they don't really have a lot of government funding for that.
Now, the important question: in order for them to erect something like this, do they have to sell tickets? Like, is it always a public spectacle, or is it something that is like a private duel type of thing?
This would be a private duel. They wouldn't make this a spectacle. These things, you would know Geffen is the city of magic. They make this easily with spells at their disposal. A few laborers here and there can do it.
Yeah. Also, given the nature of it, I'm sure that they would want it to be private so that,
Yes.
Well, from Aluvial's point of view, he's like, man, there's assassins after me. There's grudges and all types of stuff. If there's a crowd, I could be instantly murdered.
Yeah, I don't think that they would want more people knowing about the situation than have to know about it, if I had to guess. Because then if more people know about it, then more people start asking questions, and then people will wonder why you guys are having the duel. But there would be concessions, so that'd be good. But
I'm going to leave you all of the stuff that I don't take with me in the duel.
Hmm?
I can only take in 33,000 gold worth of stuff. Everything else, you can do whatever you want with. I trust you with it. I mean, you can sell it and use it for whatever.
No, I'm just...
I won't be here. I don't care. I'll be dead.
That's cool.
I wasn't prepared for that. Okay, hopefully it doesn't come down to that, though.
I'm not planning to die.
Well,
It's just for a person who plans ahead, you want to put your eggs in a row in case that happens. The way you come up with a great plan, Sean, just for future reference, assume the worst every time. Assume the worst. And in a life or death duel, you assume that you're going to lose and die. What do you want the world to be like when you're not there?
Oh, I thought you were going to say do the most reckless thing possible in a life.
No. What I'm saying is there's a lot of tension between, some of the members in the party and myself.
You're talking about Eberron, aren't you?
He's
You
not
have
me.
a 4-person party. It's real dumb to say some of the
Wait.
people.
Well, no,
You're not
at times Bissy has issues with me. At times everyone has issues with me, and I don't want to me and everyone just
I
got
don't want to
fight.
name names, even though we both know exactly who I mean.
You're not here for this, so I don't want to hear it.
It's not Saffron, is it?
No.
Oh, okay.
So, but my thing is, Bissy has great aspirations. A world of fair deals, as ridiculous as that sounds to me, there's a part of me that would crave a new beginning in a world like that. So it's a world worth building, even if I'm not here for it. That being the case, you're the best of us. You probably don't see yourself that way. But your innocence, to be honest, you seem incorruptible. It seems like no matter what, you'll always be Chandra. So if I have something to leave behind, I have no one else to leave it to but the party. And if I have to leave it to a person, depending on, I'll be honest, everyone's clever. Depending on his reaction to our conversation, I was going to leave it to him. But the volatile reaction to it, I don't think that's the best plan. When you get in a relationship, you might feel that way with Tristan. You can't see straight. Love twists and warps your ability to think rationally. That being the case, you are probably the most likely person to do the right thing with what I have left to give.
That's really sad.
I'm going to leave it to you. Why is it sad? Chandra, you're great. Don't sell yourself short. That's fine.
No, I mean, it's sad because you don't have more family or more people. I'm great. I'm aware of that, but
but y'all met like how long ago? The sad thing about your relationships.
My life has been a life of contention. I was born in it.
And you have dad issues, and I totally relate to that.
Well, my whole life. Like,
yeah.
I'm going to hold out my arms. I'm going to say, being a half-elf, people will judge you. Being a half-drow is an abomination of sorts. People will look at me, and they will always draw conclusions, whether they're there or not. And it's okay. I mean, a world of fair deals. I wouldn't even... It's as aggravating as it is beautiful to think of what that would even be like.
It's so impossible sounding, but if it were possible, that'd be great. Then I wouldn't have to worry about everything.
You can't help but to be drawn into an ideal like that, right? Like when I started out, I looked up to Phoenix, and I came hoping to join you guys just to figure out what this whole self-sacrifice and being good and doing for others was even about. Because from where I'm from, it's nonsense. Like you do what you need to survive. But I never expected an ideal like make the world fair for everyone. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous that if it were possible, I would gladly sacrifice myself for something like that, even though it's impossible.
Yeah, there's been a lot of struggle and poverty in Juneau and here too. And I mean, I've seen a lot of it. I'm not trying to compare either here and there, but like I have some idea, and I'm half Jinn, but I'm sure that that's also still more socially accepted than a half drow. That's the dark elf ones, right? The black ones, the blacker ones, the darker ones.
Can we even say this?
The ones from underground, right? Underground.
By the way,
Underdark,
foreigners say Juno. You're native. You should say Juno.
Juno, you're right. I do always forget that. And I guess there, like, we're more accepted because there's more of us there. So like they kind of have to if they don't want to. And they can't really do a lot about it. And your dad sounds like a horrible, awful person, and I don't like that either. And I just want people to not have to deal with as much of that if I can stop it.
Chandra, I've done some not great things. I'm not going to blame my past for the bad things I've done. Like, we are a product of what we come from. Mm-hmm. But we still make the choice. You know? We still make the choice.
Yeah. But...
So, I want you to push Bissy toward the goal. And even if Bissy quits, if I remember correctly, out of character, we did talk about last session, like, maybe not wanting to continue this, or was that out of character?
Bissy's been mentioning a lot more that he's been getting tired, is the way he keeps referring to it.
Of, like, adventuring specifically,
yes,
right?
He's getting tired of, like, the high risk, the way that nothing he seems to be doing seems to be changing anything. If he goes out, like, adventuring, things are just ending up dying and nothing is being fixed. It needs to be a bigger plan, and it doesn't happen with just us going out on the road and doing these things.
So he would actually probably phrase it something along the lines of, if Bissy gets tired to the point where he stops moving forward, somebody needs to. It's Bissy's dream, and I don't think it's possible. Like, I've never seen anything even remotely like that. But if it is possible, then somebody should push forward on that. You know?
Yeah. I don't think it's possible either, but it is a goal that's worth keeping in mind when you're making decisions.
Something's gonna click in Aluvial's mind, and he's gonna grab her face. He's gonna be like, I meant you. I want you to push forward.
Oh.
Sometimes you miss things, and this is important. If I'm not here, I want you to push for Bissy's goal. You don't have a goal. This is something worth pushing yourself into. And stop being so friendly with Tristan. You're gonna end up dominated and
He tried that once. He knows better.
Yeah.
But you're right, I should be more careful.
It's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope.
I should be more careful. But we also made an agreement because he doesn't want to have to feed on people, and it's hard to feed on other things. So I told him that I would help him out so that way he doesn't have to, and I can take it because I'm strong.
I'm going to give you some advice from someone who is morally ambiguous. Deals are only as good as your willpower allows. Tristan will betray you if he feels he has to. Don't put him in that position, and don't leave yourself open to something like that. In case I'm not here to protect you.
I appreciate that.
At the very least, get something that can protect your mind from mind control. Like, it's a vampire.
I mean, usually I just have Bissy do my shopping, or Everon, or both of them do my shopping for me.
Sure, they can find something. Or actually, guys, we have a. I actually do say that, like you guys, and I say we. But we have someone who can craft something like that for you. It's worth having.
That's true.
And if I'm not here, you'll probably have plenty of money to get it done.
That's a good point. I'll do my best.
That's all anyone can ask. I'm gonna smile, clap her on the shoulder. I'm gonna get up and leave. Unless you stop me because you wanted to say something.
How confident are you?
Oh, for all my, I'm not even gonna turn around to look. For all my clever boasting, I've never been confident about anything, and I'm gonna walk away.
Wait, where are you going?
Well, I'm assuming we're at the soundproof table, so I don't even hear you call me back.
True. Any specific things being done in these 2 hours, few hours from the Evron and Bisaba up in the other room?
I don't think so. Eventually, I'll just I'll let everyone know I'm gonna go out to the our windowed area. And then when I do that, I'm going to, when it comes around the time, I'm going to basically use Bard's Escape to teleport to where I'm supposed to meet with Mr. B.
Excellent. Is now a good time for a break, or do you guys want to wait for some other moment, or?
No, we don't have anything that's really restricting us the same way as before. So
we still have minutes to give, but
yeah, but that's 2 minutes at most.
All right then, let's keep going. Keep the momentum. Anyone else had anything they needed to get on the record before we go?
Actually, yeah. Before I would actually go chase after him to to let him know one more thing, and then I would, as a gesture, that's the right way.
Mm-hmm.
I would give him this.
It's a punch in the face.
From a half celestial unicorn. Oh yeah, that's right. You did do that.
I don't know what it does, and I don't think that it has a dollar or a gold value, but
sure, you can give that to Aluvial.
Yeah. I have no idea what it does, but it seems like a thing that a friend would do.
I'm gonna grin. So it's like a good luck charm.
Mm-hmm. And it's probably more useful than giving you like my scarf or something.
No,
I don't think you're a scarf person.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna like tuck it in like my hair probably. He has long hair, right? Yeah, I'm gonna tuck it in my hair.
Very nice. Up on top, Bisaba Bard's escape into this empty warehouse that was rented for the evening. Mr. B is already there with his elven sorceress. He kind of turns around as he hears the teleportation take place and greets you. Bisaba, it's my man said it was important, so of course I have time for you. What's going on?
Thank you. There are two things. One that recently was set before me that I thought you might find interesting. If I were to, and I'll try to find the Moroccan canister scroll case. Do I still have it?
Yep.
And if I open it up and like try to dump out the piece of paper I put in it, is it still there?
Yeah. Your wanted full flyers.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be like, okay, I was just checking something, and then I'm gonna go to my one that I got from Valu and open it up. That is Mithril, and then try to dump it out.
Yep, you do.
And is the paper still in there?
Yep.
Okay. Then I will show it to Mr. B. I received this in that case.
Yeah. As you do that, I need some saving throws to be rolled. As you open the paper and show it to him, and his eyes lock with this ink.
Oh, that's a triggered bard. Explosive runes, great.
Not explosive runes.
Oh, you said reflex?
No, not for you, for him.
Okay.
One creature tricks the subject into this. So yeah, as you unfurl this scroll and say, I found this, and you kind of like show it to him, the yellowness in the ink kind of disperses immediately, and Mr. B collapses, and the elven sorceress, I guess we have to roll initiative because she thinks you just fucking killed him.
That's fine. I'll be doing everything I can to bring him back. So
yeah, I mean,
no, it's fine. This is a fitting end for Bissy.
No,
if it does end up that way.
Ah!
Holy shit!
They like juiced the music volume of all my tracks. I don't know how or why. Sorry. I gotta like turn everything down to minimum volume. Why did... Oh. It didn't add your turn to the initiative order. Oh, I rolled the same number.
So low.
And I need a token for this person. Do I have their sheet in here? We'll just use this. Add turn.
Oh, she rolled the same. Oh, never mind.
I
guess she would have a high dex, so...
She sees him collapse before you both, and she says, "What have you done? What is this?"
I don't know. I have no idea. I was given this by a Moroccan.
A Moroccan?
I wanted to show him that they wanted me. They were trying to get me to switch sides.
It's so hard to control the volume of this thing, though.
I should have offered it to you first. I should have thought about protections. Fuck.
You're not lying, so she's gonna roll sense motive. All right, she believes you, and she casts detect magic.
Yeah, I'm gonna immediately start a performance on my initiative. I guess we can.
Yeah, we can go out. I was just seeing if like something drastically would have happened, but
I want to start a bardic performance and then throw on a casting of Song of Healing and then end it with a purging finale.
What do those do again? Does that give him like a reroll or something?
First, it's a it immediately he's immediately cured of anything. When I end the spell, he's immediately cured of exhaustion, fatigue, nauseated, paralyzed, sickened, or stunned. And actually, the better way to do it would be to end it with the saving finale, which gives him a reroll. If he's given a save each round, I guess.
He's not.
So if he okay, then that part won't matter. Then I would end it with purging. And purging adds getting rid of. I don't actually remember if it gets rid of anything extra. It can get rid of. It only gets rid of shaken, cowering, and dazzling. So maybe not purging finale. But I'm just looking to end it quickly.
Oh, actually, he wouldn't.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I misread the spell. He wouldn't collapse. He actually disappears. And you see him like...
That is wild.
You see him, because I just read the life force, but it's also, and its material body. You see it get like sucked into the letters of the page. Just like... And it's like it like gets sucked in the page.
Okay.
Yeah, you can spellcraft that for sure.
I have nothing for spellcraft. I would hope the wizard does, but
oh, true. Yeah, I forgot I have a wizard here. Natural 1 on the spellcraft. But you can't critically fail. So.
You got something, right?
Let me double check the DC on that because this is a very high level spell.
It is a spell.
Yeah, I thought. Wait, what was it?
I wonder if you guys out of character know the spell.
I don't.
Maybe?
I actually don't know this one.
No, he's saved, so I don't think Maze does it.
To identify spells as being cast, I guess it'd be more identifying the properties of magic item. 15 plus the dis.
Probably not enough then.
Yeah, no, that's not enough. Unfortunately. She freaks out and says, there must be some magics on this page. I'll have to decipher it.
What if we could we dispel it?
Perhaps.
What school of magic is on it?
Identifying
magic.
Yeah, they will, after a round of detect magic, conjuration summoning strong magic.
Transmutations of curses.
This is powerful magic. Reeks of witchcraft. And death magic. Do you know anyone who specializes in death magic?
Well, first of all, you said witchcraft. Actually, I do, but I don't know how you feel about whether or not you know who Valu is.
I'm aware of him. If you trust him to help us, he may be the excellent person to deal with this.
Reach out to him and let him know that this is an issue from Bisaba.
All right. She begins chanting her words for sending, which takes 10 minutes, I believe. So you have 10 minutes.
He's going to be dead by then.
No.
Yeah, you forget that the other guy has the monologue.
That's all I would catch you.
But during that 10 minutes, did you want to get the party? Do you want to just try anything yourself, or what did you want to do?
No, I don't want to get the party.
Okay. Then Valu will arrive after 10 minutes.
You gotta play both of their music over top of each other.
Valu apparates in the room. Wait, I need to look at the calendar. Is this even possible? Yes, it is. Okay.
Wait, he doesn't die at some point, does he? I don't remember that.
No, he just may not be available.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he apparates in the room and says, "Well, what's going on? You couldn't have Everon solve this?"
At the moment, Everon cannot solve this.
The elven sorceress looks at him and says, "It reeks of death magic, Valu. There's coin in it if you can release the subject inside. Hurry up. I don't know if he's deteriorating in there." Valu side-eyes the sorceress and says, "Watch your tone." And he snatches the paper, examines it, detects magic. Fancy. It's, actually, I guess I should make him roll. He has a chance to fail at identifying as well. That's a better roll. Seems to be a modification on a very powerful spell. Don't know if you've all heard of it. It's called Trap the Soul. Seems like this page was imbued with, the ink was imbued with the expensive components needed to do it. All it required was someone to present it to its target.
Can he be freed?
I believe so. I believe it can be dispelled, although this is powerful magic. Out of character, I don't know if you know. He would know the answer. I just don't know. Is there any other way to break this spell?
I think I can do it. Let me double check the spell. I think I can do it with break enchantment.
Are you using the gem instead of...
Basically, instead of the gem, it's the ink was like the component, the 1,000.
It had you can have like gem inlaid ink when you do it.
Well, it says the gem holds the trapped entity indefinitely or until the gem is broken. So you could probably just rip it in half.
True. Okay, yeah. I just wanted to make sure that wouldn't kill him.
It says, and a life force release, which allows the material body to reform.
Yes.
It says the gem holds the trapped entity indefinitely or until the gem is broken in the life force.
So Valu would know this. So he says, interesting, though. I need to ponder on this. And he will cast a spell, which is... can you cast telepathy? You can, right? Or there's a... What's the spell? Telepathic link. Right? Yeah. He cast this on you, Bissy. And as he was reading the... Or telepathic bond or whatever. Yep. And he speaks to you in your head and he says, I read the inscription on this page. I don't know your intentions, but when we free him, he will be compelled to do whatever you want. Do you want to use this? He will be required to perform a service immediately upon being freed, unknowns to him. So you could request something of him. I don't know if you want to take advantage of this. But once we
appreciate you telling me that, because I would have felt really bad had I have asked him some small favor and he felt a life required compulsion to do it.
But it seems like the King of Maroc here, as he looks at the paper, is intended for you to choose as you hold Mr. B's life in this page here. If you rip it, you can free him, or if you simply keep it to yourself, you can deliver him as inscribed here for some fortune, I imagine. Or, as I said, you can rip it and he would be compelled to complete one task for you. Otherwise, he'll be free once you rip the page. And he kind of, I don't know if you could tell, but he ends the spell and he hands the paper to you and he looks to the elven sorceress. Looks like Bisaba has the key to freeing your men, although it may take some time, maybe a day or two, or sooner, depending on how quickly Bisaba can formulate the answer. But I've done all I can. And he kind of winks at you, and she kind of jaws dropping. What do you mean, days? And then he just apparates away. So essentially, out of character, I think he's giving you time to if you wanted to decide or not. But yeah.
Valu is a very interesting person, and I'm saying this after he's gone. Valu is a very interesting person, and I don't necessarily always understand his ways. But it now makes sense based on what they said. I'm so sorry. I am going to trust Valu here and tear the sheet of paper.
Yeah, as soon as you rip and tear the first lettering, the same effect that where his body was sucked in begins to do the opposite, and it begins to get sucked out, and just gets thrown out from the page.
Actually,
mm-hmm.
I wish I would have. I keep forgetting I did not take levels in sleight of hand, but I don't think she would really notice as much if I were to just randomly flip a coin. So I want to try to I'm gonna take out my coin and I'm gonna flip it before I do the action of tearing it.
Mm-hmm.
And the question that I want to ask, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna rip the page. Never mind. I had an idea, but
sure. So yeah, you rip the page, and as soon as like I said, the tear hits the first letter, he's expelled from the page and kind of thrown to the floor. And the sorceress immediately clamors to him and helps him up, and he says, What in God's name happened? What?
The Moroccians were hoping that I would take advantage of an offer they made to me. Apparently. Just in a more direct way. I will not make a mistake like this again.
He kind of gets up, cleans off his clothes, and says, Magic is infuriating and nefarious. He kind of grimaces at his
and I let myself forget that the Moroccians have come up with a rather insidious series of tricks to use when they want to get things done. I should have learned by now, but
no harm done, my boy.
It could have been, though, and I can't. This is something I cannot take about this whole adventuring shit.
If I'm not being attempted to kill on a daily basis, I'm not doing my job right. They're clearly getting desperate, trying to bribe my allies to turn against me. I am glad your loyalty stays with me.
You are by far better in many ways than the Moroccians are.
Their end is coming. I can see the desperation, the king himself resorting to such nefarious, underhanded tricks. This is their downfall. They will, their desperation reeks. The noose is tightening. Soon I will control their operations and they will be no more.
I need some insight from you then, in business dealings. Much more urgently than I expected that I would. And I've begun to notice that I am not always the best judge of character. This has been a thing that I have counted on other people for in many a circumstance. And after today, I've had it brought to my notice that this may be a much bigger flaw than I expected. Might I share something with you?
Of course.
I want to share the snippet of the memory that Everon shared with me, where Aluvial was basically inferring that Bisaba was a mass murderer. Everon told me that Aluvial sounds to be a very manipulative person. Is this how you would perceive this?
I know not these guards you're accused of killing, but my dealings with you is that you are much more kind of associate than I'm used to dealing with. There are several instances where I recommended we bury our issues, but you found an alternate solution. There are many of people you've rehabilitated, and why wasn't there just a man some time ago that owed a debt? That instead of sending him to the wolves, you found an applicable solution, and now he's working off his debt under our employ and said, unfortunately, I would have had him hung. You saved that man's life, at least. And I believe my men have told me this is a pattern with you, that you often seek peaceful solutions. I know not these 3 guards you're accused of killing, but I'm sure you had no other choice. And even so, I'm told adventurers often have collateral damage when they...
I think you're misunderstanding my question. I apologize. The question is, did those words that Aluvial, that the man in the memory had said, do they sound like they are trying to manipulate Everon into something?
You want to know my motivation? Like, if he could extrapolate that far back, literally, from Aluvial's point of view, he's murdered and killed a lot of people. a lot of people in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, Mr. B will say, it is hard to, if someone is really good at manipulating people, it's hard to read their true intentions. From what he is saying, though, that you're on a bad path or you need to be remedied from this, I highly disagree. I think you've been one of my most valuable business partners and most level-headed associate I've dealt with. There are much worse people than you in your position that would have done things much differently than you.
You feel it's a misguided fear as opposed to an attempt to create some sort of problem within our group?
I've also heard, he kind of snaps his fingers at his sorceress. What's the word? Some psychology. Projection. Yeah, that's it. Maybe he's projecting his own fears of himself onto you.
One kill?
I've heard this Aluvial is a more scrupulous fellow. I've also heard recently he's had some diplomatic issues with elves.
Yes, there is that issue as well.
If you want my honest opinion, I would get rid of this guy. He seems bad for business. One that can't be diplomatic and resorts to troubles with other nations. In our line of work, we need to keep a low profile or be good at talking your way around things, which you are. You hold the queen's ear, and yet your activities go unknown to her. Not that our activities are untoward, but, someone as graced as yourself wouldn't want to be known dealing with someone like me right now, but you can see past those trivial titles.
And one last thing, do you feel that I am creating greater danger by continuing to roam about the world looking for trouble?
Like I said, with your help, we are close to putting an end to one of the largest assassin guilds that's been known north of Argarthia. These people have countless bodies on their hands, and because of you, and of course me, that will soon be an end. We will run their operations more civilly. As I said, we don't deal in assassination, we deal in making deals with people, making people do tasks and stuff like this. Murder is so boring and final. This is not our... We're not so barbaric.
Very well. Your insight is most appreciated, and this matter did feel urgent to me, but you have helped me put aside some of my fears and frustrations.
No, this meeting was beneficial for both of us. I'm glad to know how desperate the king is to get rid of me. He feels the noose closing around his neck and is panicking. Such a foolhardy attempt.
The De Volpes, by the way, are you familiar?
Yes, why?
What are your thoughts on them?
He attempts to sense motive on you. I don't know if you want to bluff or not. He's trying to read if if you have any emotion or connection to them. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm trying to play this as straight as possible. Like, I'm just curious about the De Volpes. Like, maybe I met them and I'm now got questions about the De Volpes.
Yeah, he kind of scoffs and says, "A bunch of spoiled brats. They give me some trouble recently. I had some issues where some people thought they would report my activities to the royalty, but luckily I have some good lawyers and some good people to keep me out of their jails." But he kind of goes to a more lower whisper. That family never deserved to be the head family in that city. They're a bunch of spoiled brats, in my opinion.
What about that blind one that's running around all over the place?
That one is... I wouldn't trust that one as far as I can throw him. He has aspirations for the crown, for sure. My contacts say he has been involved in some underhanded deals that the prince should not be involved in. His intentions should never be taken as pure, that one.
Would it be a surprise to you, then, that he has access to the Moroccan areas in various parts of town?
Wouldn't surprise me at all. It's probably... He kind of takes a moment to think. He was probably behind his own father's attempted assassination earlier this year. I wouldn't put it past him.
That is good to know. Thank you, Mr. B.
He nods.
I've been gone for a while now, so I should be getting back.
All right. Anytime you feel the need to talk, let me know.
Will do.
He joins hands with the... I guess you leave before you see it, but yeah. They also teleport away. And you appear back on the balcony of the inn.
Yep, and I will go back to Everon with probably a brighter look on my face and a better frame of mind.
Immediately sense motive.
Feeling good about yourself.
Now it's about the late afternoon, so the tavern is getting a little more full, so I'll just play a little festive tavern music.
Jesus.
God damn, these are audio tracks.
John's just trying to make sure we all stay awake. You there?
again.
Keep forgetting to like juice all the volume up for some reason. But yeah, the tavern is getting packed, and yeah, you guys are in your room, just the two of you. I don't know where Aluvial you went to, or Chandra, but
I'd probably stay in the inn out of fear of murder. But I'd probably just be like invisible, trying to avoid everybody. Essentially, just somewhere drinking, relaxing, contemplating, all that good stuff.
what about Chandra?
That's a good question. I guess I probably wouldn't be too far because I don't want to like, with everything that's going on, I don't want to like cause more problems. Yeah, I'll just kind of like stay around the perimeter and just within like maybe a mile radius and just kind of come back to the inn every so often and I don't know, just getting some exercise.
Sure. Any conversation between Bisaba and Evron upstairs?
I'm just curious if there's anything everyone wants to do to kind of take the mind off the day.
I'll stick my way.
I am kind of okay. So you took a long walk, and then what happened?
I had to think a few things over. ...
That's it.
You said that I should think things through, and you know me, I don't always think things through the best. So I reached out to somebody I felt like could give me some perspective on things.
Who's that?
Mr. B.
Oh, you trust him that much, huh?
I do and I don't. I know the ways that I can, and I know the ways that I can't trust him. He said some valuable things that I needed to hear.
Did you just like scry him, or?
No, when I went out to the balcony, we had a preset meeting location.
So what did he say?
He doesn't think me a murderer. It is hard, though. I do often have nightmares with those people in them. I still envision the ball of flame erupting upon them as I realized that my rod no longer had the ability to be merciful anymore. It is among my greatest regrets.
I know.
And for him to assume that you had never said a word to me about it, that no discussion had been had about it just because it didn't happen in front of him. The number of discussions that he and I have had in private, and he would assume you would never talk to me in private.
Yep. You're not even gonna have to mention what happened with Mr. B, huh?
No, because Bissy does not want to hear the "I told you so" from Everon that he so justly deserves.
Like you think I'm never gonna hear from Valoo? Better to fess up front.
It's
gonna be embarrassing for you.
I think I'd rather have the embarrassment. I think that is the kind of oversight that Bissy would do, is not realize that Valoo will eventually say something to you about it.
Also, Everon chastises Aluvial in front of everybody, so he assumes if she would have said something, it would have been in front of everybody. So he's justified in assuming no conversation took place, is all I'm saying. That's out of character.
So what do you want to do now?
I want to wrap up the things we need to wrap up. And then I want to get down to the business of sowing seeds of change as opposed to just burning the fields.
Are you running for office? Because that sounds like a political slogan.
In a way, I am.
Oh God, I'm not ready to be a first husband.
No. I do not think it is my place to run. I think it is my place to make the people that run. Best to operate not at the front. I'd like to start working on, as well, finding the right people to go out and do the work that needs to be done, as opposed to constantly leaving it in our hands when, at times, it may not result in the best of activities or results. If we train people, if we make people that do the right things, then we will have a better impact than just us trying to do the right things.
I get it.
Thank you, everyone.
Still mad at Aluvial. He's such an ass.
You're lucky he's not there to defend himself.
What, to say, no, I'm not? Like,
yeah, exactly. We'll fight some more.
I don't even know how I'm supposed to get along with him anymore. It's just, it just always feels
Our
like
character busy as a murderer. What do you want me to do? Now, Aluvial, well, no, I'm not. No more spoilers. You guys can't play without metagames. I'm not going to I'll give you the rest of the details after the fact. But, this is killing a lot of people. All I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure you said that 12 times. Thank you.
I was just making, you didn't seem to get it. I was just making sure. Driving the point home.
But if there's no other specific things you guys want to state or talk about, there is something that will happen to Chandra while she's patrolling.
Uh-oh. I did make sure to mention that I was periodically checking back in, right?
Sure, yeah.
Just so people are aware that I'm...
Yeah, so one time when you check back in, you come in for some tea or something, and then you go back out to do your exercise thing. When you come back out, you'll notice this very handsome guy. He's wearing kind of like a tight tunic with this like not what's it called? Not a turban. It's almost like a half head covering that's like half on his head, half off, but it's like bandage wraps kind of around his head, and that's only like tilted to the side. And then he has like these not baggy pants, but they're like loose fitting embroidered pants, and he's just kind of like leaning against the wall as you come out, and he's just like eating an apple, and you kind of catches your attention. One, because he's conventionally a very good looking gentleman, and he kind of just like catches your eye as you come out, and he just kind of like says, "Oh, you're out to do another patrol, or what is exactly it is you're doing out here?"
I'm going to... He starts like covering like half of his head, like
yeah. So it's like it's almost like a turban, but it's like to the side, and it's only like covering like a diagonal of his like forehead. And
okay,
like
so it's not like covering his eyes or anything. Or
no,
one of his eyes or anything.
No.
So I make sure he wasn't like an Uchiha or something.
Kakashi Sensei.
Maybe. Whoa. Who are you? I don't think I've seen you around here before.
He kind of takes another bite of his apple and then just like kind of throws it away and then does like a half bow and says, "My name is Jessel. At your service." And then he kind of like reaches out to like kiss your hand. You don't have to let him do it, but he.
I'm gonna like step back for a second, or step back because I don't know this dude.
He like retracts his hand and he stands back up and says, "I've been sent here to help you with your problem."
That's awfully vague as far as what my problem is and who sent you.
Well, I heard your family's having a little bit of trouble with back home. I can kind of looks around and whispers to you. No one's like really around, but kind of goes closer and he says, "I can get you in." And then he kind of backs out.
Man, that is a very tempting offer, but I cannot make decisions like this on my own.
You can't make a decision about your own mother by yourself? You need...
Not here alone.
Who do you need to confer about? Who would decide your mother's fate but not you?
I wouldn't want to go in... Where did you say she was again?
He kind of gives you like a look like, really?
Thought it would work. It sometimes does.
The prison, of course.
So, you have this information, which I'm sure you're going to do completely free of charge out of the kindness of your heart.
No.
Mm-hmm. And do you want me to go in there by myself?
No. You can bring who you want to help you free your mother. I just figured this would be your decision, not Bisaba's. Do you ask him to permission to wipe your butt as well?
That's interesting. I didn't mention his name.
You're all quite famous.
Very valid point.
Anyways, I can get you in. I can guarantee your mother's safety and get you to her cell. In exchange, I just need you to remind Bisaba who his real friends are. It's not Mr. B who's helping save your mother. It's the Moroccians.
What about Mr. B? What are you talking about?
He is a selfish entrepreneur who seeks to create chaos in an otherwise orderly system. I, in exchange for what I'm offering you, just need you to simply remind Bisaba who his true friends are. Or who his true friends could be. I hear Mr. B has offered no assistance in this matter. Seems like your mother's not important to securing his power, whereas we understand the importance of family.
Unless it's not yours, right?
Whatever do you mean? All family is important to those that are our allies and friends.
Yeah, that are your allies and friends.
Well,
and if they're not,
you become family when you work with us.
And what about people that don't share your views?
Difference of opinion. I know you've been told that we're just an assassin's guild and we kill here and there. We take on contracts by choice, not force. Death pays for death. There is a mass murderer who needs to be a bounty placed on. We have no problem with this, do you? We don't kill the innocent. We kill those that people come to pay with death for death. Someone who's been wronged. Someone who's suffered a death themselves. That death pays for, along with some coin, the death of their target. Those that deserve it. Those that need to be brought to Forno's doorstep. We are merely Forno's messengers. These people deserve death. They long for it. They need it.
I don't know if I would remember what this guy looks like because he was further away. When we were in the desert, I think it was the desert when there was that guy that came and talks to Bissy privately.
Yeah,
that was a while ago as well.
That's not the guy.
Yeah, this is definitely not this guy. Are you talking about the guy who gave you an item?
Yeah, that guy was a nice guy.
Yeah, that guy was wearing like armor and stuff.
Yeah, but Chandra doesn't know exactly what you guys talked about.
Sure.
So I wasn't
sure. But they
if
do not
was,
look similar at all. They don't look similar.
Cool. And that was so long ago, I personally couldn't remember. My brain is bad.
I understand this will take you some time to think on, but I wouldn't waste too much time. I believe you've been told of what happens to people who spend a long time in this prison. Your mother's safety is at risk, Chandra.
See, now when you say it like that, it sounds an awful lot like a threat.
No, it is merely fact. Every day you spend not acting is another day of God knows what's going on in there to her. Torture, madness creeping. Even the strongest of souls crack in days in there. Well, if you need to find me, I'll be at your old tavern in a day. If I don't see you there, I'll assume your answer was no. And I'll wish you the best. Hopefully you have the tools necessary to save your mother.
And I'm assuming that it wouldn't matter for me to ask you your name again because it's probably not your actual name.
This is my name, Jessel. Do you require my family name as well?
It's real bold if that is.
I don't know what use it'll be to you, but if you want it, I can give it to you. I'm not from around here, so you may have been able to tell.
Yes, I'm assuming you're from Morocco.
Yes, I'm able to shed my accent quite well. It's my specialty.
It would make sense in your line of business.
Anyways, the terms have been set. I look forward to hopefully seeing you in a day. He'll give you a little curtsy and a wink, and he'll begin to walk away unless you shout after him to...
No, I'm just going to look upset and angry because I don't like the way that he said the things that he said to me. And I don't like that he approached me out of nowhere with this information, and I don't know why he came to me out of nowhere. And it's all very upsetting. So I'm just going to be upset and mad about it for a few minutes, and then I don't know, probably head back inside and stress eat.
Yeah. Rest of party, where are you? And / do you all meet up at some point, or do you kind of do your own thing for the rest of the night?
I was gonna say, when I see Chandra come in all frustrated, because I'd be milling around like probably the lobby area, stealing people's drinks. So when I see Chandra come in all frustrated, I'll float over to the table.
Invisibly, or?
Okay? Well, I'll become visible once I don't want her to be like, oh my god, what's going on? Are you okay?
I look around like I don't know why I would expect him to be in here.
Oh,
somebody,
oh,
go ahead.
You're back at our bar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll like become visible and like pull out a chair and start sitting down.
Oh, I don't know why I was expecting him to be in here, but somebody that claims to be from Morocco approached me outside.
I immediately appraised Chandra to make sure she wasn't all stabbed up and stuff. Are you okay?
Physically, sure, but he decided to remind me about my mother and offered to be able to get us in.
We should go get the others. Seems rather important.
Yeah,
You want me to get them and you can stay here and stress eat?
If you want to.
Yeah. Well, actually, let me see. Do I have any spells? I can just call them downstairs without walking up there.
You know that you can't.
Nope.
You could send one of your many employees up to get them.
Yeah, you can send a person up to
get them. Yeah, I'll send somebody up to go get them.
There's shit tons of protections around our room, so.
Yeah, you can flag over one of Bissy's men, and they can run up and knock on the door and say, "Sorry for the intrusion."
Yes.
Your Aluvial and Chandra, they seem to be discussing something, and they need your input at the Phoenix table downstairs.
Thank you. We'll be right down.
Nods. He lingers for a moment.
Yes.
Nothing, and he'll leave.
Is it?
Oh,
I'll give him a silver.
Thank you. He'll take the
this is
silver.
one of your guys, not one of Mr. B's guys.
I've literally been that person that's so oblivious. I didn't realize they wanted it to. It's awkward. Like, oh shit, you're right. I'm sorry.
I mean, not. Your guys are paid pretty well, so it's like awkward.
Yeah, but it's a Bissy custom to tip people, and like I think Bissy's just not in the right frame of mind to have thought about it until he like did the sorry, and it's like, oh wait, I'm not. Yeah.
But yeah, he takes the silver and thanks you profusely and gets out of your way. And you guys can join as a whole party once again down on the Phoenix table. Drinks are brought, Phoenix ales around. For those who don't drink alcohol, there would be some tea brought.
What does Bissy like?
Bissy would look fine.
Is there any way I would be able to tell how much or any indication like what I was gonna say Chandra, everyone like how much information does Bissy have? You know, some people look like they're like when they're frustrated with somebody but they don't want to say it, they kind of like side eye them and all of those like verbal cues. Like
depends if Bissy's has any tells like that. But yeah,
I don't know.
I think unless Bissy rolls a really good bluff check, I think there'd be like an air of tension, but you'd have no way of knowing like
exactly
how much or whatever. But
yeah, I think that when Bissy wants to hit the silver tongue Bisaba, he can, and I feel like that is the way that he will come down to the table, is in the most professional way, the same way he would go to meet the queen or to when he first met with the elves, like the very professional.
Bisaba.
Yes, you are getting
That's
professional Bisaba.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Yeah.
What is the issue we're dealing with today?
I'm gonna gesture toward Chandra.
Somebody that claims to be Moroccan came up to me outside and offered to get us in.
We already have a way in.
Yeah, and then he started to talk about some things that didn't necessarily pertain to the situation, but about Mr. B. Something about that, something about reminding you of who your friends are or could be, and
oh yes, I got a stupid note when I was walking around delivered to me about how we should betray Mr. B. They'd really like that, wouldn't they?
He kept bringing her up and about the conditions in there, and needless to say, I'm still not happy about it.
What did he want from you?
Just all he asked for was to remind Bissy about that, and he told me he'd be at our old tavern tomorrow if I chose to accept his offer.
They're trying to get me to turn against Mr. B by whatever means they can. So I'm sure they're offering a free trip to the prison if we betray Mr. B.
I mean, I'm sure he can get us in, and I'm sure that he wants us to do that. I'm not handling this well because I don't like him using that information in conversation with me. And them being from Morocco, it felt like it was being used against me.
It is rather unsettling, but they know as many details as we do.
About everything, and about the thing with Mr. B, and about that, and about...
Makes you think maybe they're behind why she's in there.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised, but there's a lot of people...
Assassins. And this happened a long time ago.
A setup can be done.
But to what To what
She's
end?
being, I believe she was being framed for murder, right?
Right, but they're assassins. They why? What would they gain from setting up Chandra's mother?
I think it could be a byproduct. It could be Chandra's mother was in a wrong place at a wrong time scenario. Perhaps Chandra's mother had fallen smitten with somebody. The assassins came to kill that person, and she was the last found person with that person at the time.
All I know is that for their sake, I hope I don't find the person that got her put there.
I'm actually going to think to Everon. I know. However, Bissy can't possibly agree to what I'm about to say. But what if we take him up on his offer and then not betray Mr. B? What if we save Chandra's mother from the prison of torture and all it cost us is a lie? Bissy can't agree to something like that. But what do you think?
I think we should have conversations out loud as a team. I say out loud. Aluvial, do you want to share your idea with the group?
Absolutely. Bissy, you're unable to betray a deal. But telling a lie, such as, yes, we'll betray Mr. B, and then using this opportunity to save Chandra's mother from torture up to and including death seems like a small price to pay. Because of the gods you follow, I know that you can't accept betraying a deal. But it seems like a very direct path.
Out of character, did we not make a deal or like come up with an arrangement with the queen about getting into the prison?
I don't know.
I don't think you specifically mentioned it, but you had posited the idea that you guys, or it was made clear that you guys could easily get in, but then you never really said what you're going to do once you got in.
He mentioned that he knows.
Like basically, from what I remember, we had access to the prison. That's it. Like no way in, no way out, especially no way to find her and get her out.
And I, for some reason, thought we had talked about some part of this with the queen.
He
What is
mentioned knowing.
supposed to be doing?
Ursula was getting us the information as to what the ultimate result of her situation was, and any details pertaining to why she was in the situation she was in.
So we didn't get that yet, right?
We did.
You did.
She's in Stormfront prison, and I believe it was for murder, right?
Right. I'm just trying to remember because I think you actually did talk to the queen about this. I can't remember exactly what was said though. Now off the top of my head.
Yeah, because I know from somewhere I thought she said something about there not being torture there.
Oh,
yes, that's right. Yes.
I do remember that.
Yeah, she said that, but yeah.
I'm like, sounds
Was
like a
this
cracker
last
shit.
session?
Well, conveniently, he.
I don't remember if
happens
this
to
was
know-
last session or not.
Yeah,
What?
it might have been last session, but yeah, you definitely
Yeah,
did
you-
talk to the
you
queen about this,
remember it all.
and she did let you know there's no torture being there, and you were allowed to go in there and check what's going on.
He did also mention.
But she didn't give you permission to release prisoners.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did also mention conveniently that he knows, or they know, what cell she's in, and how to get there. And I'm not saying that makes me want to take him up on his offer. That kind of makes me want to punch him in the face. But maybe that's just me.
What are the rules about anyone just sitting on your table, by the way? Is this allowed, or how does that work? I can't remember what you said.
There are usually people that will stop you if you try to sit at the table, and then my people will come over and talk to us and let us know somebody's trying to sit down.
Okay,
or
yeah.
somebody
So,
wants to sit down.
yeah, at some point in your discussion, there's some guy who looks a little tipsy, and he's about to go for a chair, and guys immediately stop him and push him back, and he's just like, "What? These guys look like they're having a good conversation." And they just kind of
stand up and walk over.
Hey, you're the small one. Can I have a seat? Have a drink?
Sure. Let him have a seat.
Yeah. Drinks on me. And he'll just like... He'll like wave to the bar and Danae will just like...
And I'll make a way back like a no.
Yeah, Danae will acknowledge you and ignore this guy. And this guy will just like... he'll specifically take a seat next to Aluvial.
Oh, I'm gonna move immediately. No.
Where are you going?
Over here.
And you like sit. I don't stink.
It is customary for people who wish to sit with us to sit across from us, not next to us.
What do you want?
Oh,
why are you here?
I didn't know it was so formal around here. Jeez.
It is. When you come to this table, it is very formal time. So why don't you drop whatever this is?
He kind of cracks his neck, straightens up, and immediately does not seem drunk.
Did I forget some of the details?
He looks to Aluvial directly and says, word is on the street that you got a father that needs killing.
I'll handle that if it comes to that.
Of course you can. We can make sure that he's
Is this Morakian wild card day or what? What is your offer to Everon? Can we just get this out of the way? Everon, your mentor has been captured. Please you must save him. The only way you can do it is to agree to Morakian terms.
He chuckles and says, Everon's package has been delivered. And then turns to Aluvial again and says, your father has many of protections recently. We can make sure...
You're going to need to explain exactly what you need by Everon's package has been delivered or you're going to combust where you sit.
Whoa. Don't shoot the messenger. I didn't deal with that one. I just know that there's a set of persuasive terms in a package for you. And he looks at Everon.
Where?
I haven't heard anything about it.
Yes, I believe it's being delivered tonight at your old tavern.
No
I
thanks.
wasn't sure. You haven't even looked at what's in it.
Yep.
Aluvial's gonna say, like, so far it seems like they're just trying to cordially invite us. I don't think there's any threat of danger. I'm actually saying that to Bishy.
I think they're running out of options. I think that they are shaking at their foundation at this point.
We are merely pointing out that in a mere days, we've uncovered things that are important to you that need done, whereas your current allies care not for these things. Whether or not you value these things or not is up to you. Who your true allies would be to settle these important matters to you, and not just simply business partners. We are family, not just colleagues.
About what time is it?
A brainwashed little family.
No one is brainwashed. It is late afternoon / early evening, probably.
Oh, you're right. Educational classes teaching children to commit murder is most certainly not a plan of brainwashing.
He looks at you very oddly. I don't know how you or what you're implying about our education
you were right the
system.
first time.
We have early childhood biology classes about the human body.
And exactly the places that you need to be punctured in order to bleed the most profusely.
Indeed.
Yes, but definitely not classes on assassination. That's not what those are at all. It's brainwashing. We can call it what it is. You Morakians seem to want to wind your way around factoids in this very obscure and pointless thing. Even in your own private societies that you keep deep within the hearts of the cities that you reside in. When you could
Aluvial's pretty much going to just say, like, none of us are going to take your deal.
That's fair. We just wanted you to know,
time.
As you say, we just wanted you to know that We can help you deal with these matters. If you
Be right back.
don't need our help, that's fine with us.
I'm going to think to him as he goes to leave. Meet me in 5 hours once everybody's asleep. And I'm going to mention a spot like outside of the tavern somewhere.
Yeah, you'll notice he like stops as you message him, but then he like goes to like take a shot and just like puts it on a random table and thinks back to you like, yeah, like he'll meet you.
I'm going to shake my head disgustedly. How could he expect somebody to agree with this nonsense?
But why don't we all just take a quick break, use the washroom, get some water, and we'll be back. Shring, we are back. I'm just checking everyone's in the right spot. They are. And yeah, this gentleman's at the table, or he's left the table after you guys told him to get lost. And yeah, you guys are being pestered by Moroccan people today, it seems. But yeah, you're left on your own again.
I am going to immediately have one of my people head to the other building and notify everyone at the other building that anything that is for Everon is to immediately be destroyed.
Yeah, so it's like a 20-minute run between each places. So they'll run back and then they'll say, there's already something there. Should we just destroy it? It's in a black wrapping paper with a red bow. The bartender just kept it behind the bar waiting for Everon.
I don't want it.
Should we just destroy it?
I mean, I don't know.
We don't know if it's
There could
dangerous.
be like a puppy or something inside.
There's no air holes or any sounds coming from it.
Do you have somebody that can try to unwrap it from a distance?
We do. We can unwrap it if you want in a safe way to make sure if there's anything happens to it, we can do it in a way that wouldn't harm anyone.
Actually, let the other people, and by that I mean Mr. B's people, know that there is an object we deem to be potentially dangerous, and part of their contract in protecting that location is to inspect the dangerous objects that come through. And they should open it and identify what it is, and let us know what it is. Do not bring it to us.
You got it. And he'll...
Aluvial's eyes are going to go wide, and then he's going to glance at Everon, then glance back at the runner. He's not going to say anything. Yeah.
Yeah, so he huffs and puffs it out. But yeah, you're not going to hear back from him for at least 20 minutes, because that's how long it takes for him to run there and back. Well, 40 minutes total. But.
Right.
So what are we going to do about Chandra's mother? You want to just go with the Queen's plan, and then once we get inside, just try to figure out what we can do?
I mean, that's all we can do. We should be able to hear out her side of the story, and we should be able to figure out what the next steps are.
But they're just going to let us in. We don't even know where she is. And I doubt they're going to let us to their most secretive locations. They're just going to let us in the building. And probably talk to people who are safe to talk to.
You're right, Aluvial. No one that I talked to has ever been able to give us any information or get us in the direction we need to go.
Oh, I'm not doubting your ability to talk our way in. You've already done that. You've talked our way into the place.
Around the situation. We could have handled this non-violently.
Handled what?
This issue with everything.
Are you talking about the guy who came to kill me?
There are things that can be handled
who murdered
without
somebody,
violence.
who murdered an innocent person in the street? How's that a fair deal for the guy who's dead? He's dead now. I couldn't even bring him back when I tried. He doesn't deserve recompense.
You said it yourself. You paid him for it.
He doesn't deserve recompense for death. What about the guy that he hired? He could not have possibly known what he was signing up for.
You of all people know I disagree with the Elven policy.
Right, but I'm just saying, you're saying like, oh, you should just trust the elves and talk your way through it when you can't trust what they have to say.
No, you can't trust me. That's what this comes down to.
I don't trust anybody is what this comes down to.
Good.
You went and had a conversation with my life on the line without me there. That is a betrayal of trust if I've ever experienced one. Am I wrong? I would never do that to you.
I understand that you see it that way and that you feel it that way.
Explain how I'm wrong. You went and had a discussion about my life or death. How am I wrong?
Chandra gets up and walks out.
I went and had a discussion about the public killing of townspeople in front of our establishment.
And now my life is on the line.
Your life was already on the line.
Exactly. So I should have been there to talk about it. That was my whole point.
That wasn't what we were talking about, was your life.
So how did I end up in a life or death duel with the plane?
In a life or death thing, Aluvial. I am very tired of this.
You're tired of what? I'm tired of it. Everything I do is wrong. I try to protect the party, I'm wrong. If I try to attack people who are attacking the party, I'm wrong. If I try not to kill people, I'm wrong. If I kill people, I'm wrong. What exactly am I supposed to do? Where did Steve go? I'm confused.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is in character, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I'm confused. This is in character. Like,
Well, let's.
Oh, okay.
I said I was leaving, so I was making it clear that.
I was like, what just happened? Did he actually get mad? Like, what's going on?
He gets up and walks away.
Oh, okay.
I would have left when Chandra left the table.
So Aluvial's
that was cool.
Alone at the table.
If I'm damned if I do, and I'm damned if I don't. And if I'm good, then I'm evil. And if I'm evil, then I'm evil. I might as well just do whatever works for me. And I'm just going to get up and leave.
So yeah, as you take a step out from the, like you pulled the chair and you're starting to walk out, that guy from earlier puts a hand on your shoulder.
Ah! Thought I wouldn't get to talk to you till later. I'm going to gesture toward the table.
Yeah, you gesture toward the table. He'll sit down with you and he says, "Couldn't help but overhearing your predicament.
My plans have changed quite a bit recently.
We can take care of that elf if you want."
That is actually what I had in mind. Why fight fair? It's nonsense. What do you want as compensation?
Nothing. Well, nothing in monetary value. You seem to be more agreeable than your friends. We're just...
That's because they're dumb. Have you ever noticed how dumb good is?
We prefer the term misguided.
You would let people die in the street in order to protect yourself and your feelings of being good. It's nonsense. It doesn't make any sense. The whole thing makes no sense.
I agree. This is why we want your help in convincing your party to side with the Moroccians over Mr. B. Mr. B, has he even reached out to help you with any of these problems? Or has it only been when it concerns something with
Mr. B is a businessman. He's interested in his own interest, which I understand. You know, if I had a business and I was trying to make money, I would concern myself with the things that concern me and my business.
That is the difference between us. We don't concern ourselves with just coin. If you side with us, we take your personal issues as our personal issues, and we'll help you solve them. This elf...
The party will never see your way, though.
I agree.
The fact that you're Moroccan is enough for them to falsely judge you and look down on you and think everything that you do is evil.
We don't need a public relationship. We just need things to go the way that they should. And I've heard you've agreed not to interact with this elf, which is fair. But if he to succumb to some accident, it's not your fault. You had nothing to do with it.
I agree.
I also agree. 'Tis not fair what the elves, their vast experience, he thinks it's a fair fight when he's lived twice as long as you. Is that really fair? How could it ever be fair?
In truth, the fight doesn't even bother me. The idea of the fight is ridiculous. The idea that they feel entitled to force you into combat. It's ridiculous. The entire idea of it.
Your own queen not even coming to your defense.
Exactly. And you can command me to stand before you and fight me in a way that you see fair. But if I fight using my strength and you never see it coming, I'm the bad guy. Doesn't even make sense.
You're preaching to the choir, my friend. In exchange for this, I simply ask that you try to push your friends toward the more reasonable choice. I don't ask you to do anything deliberate, or at least how things stand. I can tell when there's disgruntled friendships brewing. No need to push the issue now. But with your permission, I can put things in place that this elven problem can disappear.
To be honest, life or death, my time here is probably short anyway. I've played this game many times. If people are determined to see you in a way, they'll see you that way regardless of any evidence to the contrary. So yes, kill him.
Should this arrangement with your current friends not work out, there's always a place for you in Morocco.
I'll take you up on that. It seems like a more suitable path for me. Maybe that's where I belonged all along. Where I'm from, after all.
I leave that to you to think on. We'll get in touch with the details and let you know of its completion when it's done. And he just kind of nods to you, and he'll get up and leave you to your thoughts.
I'll slam my hands on the table angrily and disappear. Cast invisibility.
Why are you angry? You're getting what you want.
This isn't what I want.
To get out of this fight.
Aluvial feels like the party is poised to betray him, just like every other person in his life has betrayed him. That he is the enemy, even though everything I'm just telling you, from the outside, this is how he feels. If basically
so he should feel glad now that
he has no
reason place to go.
He has no reason to risk his life right now. He has no reason. Why would I risk my life when these guys are volunteering to solve my problem? You guys are willing to put me into the jaws of death, all while telling me I'm wrong. All while telling me I'm wrong for trying to save you. All while yelling at me and storming away, leaving me alone. The thing that he fears the most, being alone. So yeah, he would 100% jump at, I don't have to worry about dying.
What I just said is I don't think he should be mad. He should be glad that he found Moroccans who want to take him in and take care of his problem.
He felt like he had a family and his family just abandoned him again. So no, he's not happy about it. Like, what do you mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, he has a new family now. Moroccans.
Well, where does the other party members go when they storm off?
I just went up to the room.
You went up to the room. Where?
I'm gonna be waiting outside because I've got to wait on that guy to get back.
And yeah, Ryan's AFK. So I guess we can, unless there's anything specific Aluvial you want to do, we can skip 45 minutes ish to when this guy comes back to speak with Bisaba, as I find an appropriate track. Actually, this one. About an hour-ish, this guy comes running back. We've opened it up. It seems to be just a bunch of books and journals.
Any details in them?
We opened them briefly, but a lot of them are gibberish. We can recognize arcane writings when we see them, but none of us are mages, so we can't decipher the writings. But it seems to be 3 or 4 spell books. They seem harmless enough. We have rudimentary detections, and they just seem like normal spell books from what we can tell. No explosive runes. We were told specifically to check for that.
Have them destroyed.
Are you sure? I've heard these things are quite valuable, especially to a wizard like Evron.
We can never be sure what is within those tomes. Many, many secrets hide within the productions of the Merakians.
You know best. I'll give them the word.
I hope so.
And he'll sprint back.
Actually, I'll offer to go with him. I want to watch them burn.
Sure. Yeah, you can head back, and you see he brings you around back to the outside where the stables are, and that new stone/wooden shack that Evron and Aluvial constructed are back there. But they're just like in the open, and they just have like this like rough pit dug out where they have this box that they opened up, and then they like kind of are confident it's safe. And there's like 3 or 4 of them around it, and they see you guys approach, and then they kind of put it down as if like they feel like they were almost in trouble, like not supposed to touch it or whatever. And he comes up and he says, "Oh, boss man says to burn him." And they all look at each other and say, "All right." And then they like toss the books back in the box. There's like 4 of them, and they toss some one of them goes and grabs some branches and some wood kindling and stuff like that. And then one of them pulls out a flint and steel and starts to strike it.
Hold on.
Huh?
Not that way. Take some space back.
They all give you space.
I am going to start I'm going to start my bardic music, and I am going to do the the fire break to give us all fire resistance.
Okay.
It is fire resistance 30, and then I will do a shrunken fireball at full damage capacity on the books.
Oh shit! And yeah, roll me your damage for your fireball.
I've got things turned on right. Concentrated.
And you're not using your cinder thing or whatever to eliminate immunities? Does that only work on creatures?
I think so, actually. The ability is called Fire Break.
Fire Break.
It's allies, yeah, so it's people.
Oh, I meant your cinder thing that removes immunities or whatever. Star Cinder, do you have that?
Yes. I'll be within the range, but I think that's also on people. But if there is a person that's adjacent to the books or around the books.
Yeah, it's specifically creatures, okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's check out the spell book.
But yeah, I'll roll the damage here.
Yeah, I think they get a saving throw, but I don't think they can survive this.
Here's my figure. There it is.
Spell book.
I think this is right. That's too low. Hang on. We gotta add a couple more concentrations to it. 7, I think, is the max. There we go. That should be right. Oh yeah, 5 foot, and then so 56 damage.
All right, time to roll some saving throws. 56 fire damage. God damn. All but 1 book erupt in flame and are turned to ash. The remaining book looks a little singed, but still intact after your fireball dissipates.
Again.
You throw another one into this pit, and it turns to ash as well. I imagine there's some sort of like magical release from this, as there were like enchantments on these, and there's like in the smoke cloud is like a bunch of different colors of smoke that arises from the ashes as these spells are being released. And yeah, the box is destroyed, I guess. There's just a pile of ashes in this spot.
Well, that is the last of that.
Should we clean this up, I guess?
We'll... I had a way to clean this up, actually. But I do not. So, as you clean it up, make sure the pieces get spread in a number of different places. I don't want any ability for these to be reconstructed using some sort of powerful magic.
Each of them take out like a jar, and they each like fill up the ashes in jars, and each of them go in like separate directions into the woods and like get rid of them.
Yep.
Do you where do you go after this? Do you kind of just stay and watch to make sure they've done the task, or do you just leave?
No, I'm not going to oversee them that much. I kind of wanted to burn it myself. I'm gonna head back to the inn. There's some things that I need to think about and some things I need to work on.
Old inn or new inn?
New inn.
New inn. Okay. You head back to the new inn. Anything else you guys are doing? Anything specific during this time?
Yeah, sorry, I had food come and I had to get up. Yeah, Chandra's just going up to the roof and gonna cry for a while.
Jesus. Okay.
She doesn't know what to do.
And, you each have your own separate rooms in the new inn, by the way, so you don't have to be like in the same room.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have your own quarters.
She's going to the roof though.
Okay. Sure.
She feels more comfortable up there.
Yeah. Yeah. The night can pass away unless any of you have anything specific. I don't know if you still wanted to meet with that guy, Aluvial. You kind of already discussed what you needed to, so he's assuming you didn't need to meet with him.
Yeah.
So yeah, the night can pass and the morning can come. It is now the 9th of Dalek. And we don't need this spooky music, as it's a brand new day.
In your grandest trick, dog.
You guys awake in your separate rooms after your disagreements. Where does everyone want to head? Does everyone head for breakfast? Do you guys kind of keep to yourselves this morning?
I'm gonna go eat.
Izzy's gonna skip breakfast.
Yeah. Anyone else eating breakfast?
Probably gonna go out. I don't know, do what, but wander around. Try to think of what to do.
Evron, are you skipping breakfast as well?
No, I said I was gonna go eat.
Oh, you're gonna go eat? Alright. Yeah, you guys can sit at separate tables if you want, or sit at your Phoenix table. But either way...
Phoenix table like normal.
Okay. Danae kind of brings a special meal over, and he says, I noticed y'all having a disagreement last night. Are the rest of you not joining us for food?
I don't know.
Well, I had a special feast prepared to hopefully put you in better spirits, but...
Sweet of you.
But yeah, he brings forth some food, which will be essentially a hero's feast. So you all can take 1d8 plus 5 temporary hit points. And you'll have a bonus on some stuff that maybe won't come up. I'll just put it in the chat in case it becomes relevant. But yeah. What is the game plan for the party, for the different members? What are you guys doing today?
I don't know. I know Bissy's going to be up in the room for a very long time. I don't know if Bissy
Okay.
even comes down.
So, how much did you share with Busy? I grin.
Oh, you're talking to me?
Said you came for breakfast, right?
Yeah. For some reason, I thought you were talking to Deneen.
Nope.
Oh yeah, I didn't exactly hear who you said either.
Well, yeah, Deneen
Were you there,
leaves
Chandra?
you. He doesn't need.
No, I mean like I as a player, it kind of cut out for me, like when you said her name.
Gotcha.
Everything. I'm honest.
See, that's the thing that kills me. Honesty that causes harm. Why? If you being honest hurts someone else, why be honest? Doesn't make sense.
Greater purpose for it.
Right. If there's a greater good to be held by not being honest, why be honest?
No, see, I think there's a greater good in being transparent with your partner to, I don't know, keep trust and let them make their own decisions.
No. I'm not saying you did the wrong thing. I just don't understand it. For instance,
I was trying to explain.
If a child's dog was eaten by a bear, it's more kind to say the dog ran away than to say your dog was viciously mauled by a bear.
I don't understand how you think that situation is at all comparable.
I didn't say it was. I said sometimes it's better to lie.
Okay, if it's not a comparable situation, what's the point of raising it now? It's confusing.
Well, comparable means equal. It's similar, though.
Those are not similar situations.
For instance, Bissy has a very weak psychological constitution. So saying, I mean, I'm sure you'll share this with him.
He's listening in right now.
I don't really care. The fact of the matter is, he's deeply hurt by things, right? I'm not saying that's a bad thing, to be hurt by things.
I mean, you said he has a psychologically weak constitution. That seems like a pretty intense statement.
Well, I can explain it if you want. You can probably cut this part out of the explanation, but if someone's been traumatized, they're a lot stronger to the suffering in the world because they've been through so much.
Like you,
if someone hasn't been traumatized as much, then the harms of the world don't hurt them much more. That's why the child analogy. If a child who's never experienced death and who's only experienced love from their parents and has never experienced loss, for their dog to be viciously murdered, it's confusing and almost offensive to have that happen. Where for an adult who suffered through a life of loss would look at a dog being mauled as just par for the course. You live around bears.
That's a very insensitive adult who just doesn't give a shit about animals, huh?
If you live in an area where there are bears and your dog is roaming free, bears eating your dog is something that could happen. If you don't see that, then I would say the adult in that situation is the one who's in the wrong. I'm saying Bissy is deeply hurt by most things. His very big reactions to most things. So to tell him that one of the people looking out for him notices all of the killing that he's committing and thinks that you as his partner should protect him from himself would cause more harm than good, is what I was saying. Like the dog and the bear. I just mentioned
the dog and the bear are not a situation that is a good analogy here, in my opinion.
How so? Explain to me the parts where it's wrong.
I don't have that.
You can't.
For this. I'm trying to. I could. I just don't care to.
Oh, that's a very easy way out, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep eating my breakfast. Thanks.
Okay. Enjoy. I'm gonna grin really big and then go back to eating.
Yeah, I don't care.
Well, no, Aluvial's like, stop playing games with me. Essentially, that's what he's doing. He's assuming basically that you have no answer, so you're just probably not. So he feels like he's vindicated in his example, essentially.
Oh, of course he does. And I just don't give enough shit to continue the conversation.
You guys can continue your meals uninterrupted and gain the full benefits of the Hero's Feast. Although maybe you don't feel super heroic, as the party is shattered at the moment. I do. But yeah, what else do you guys want to do, or how do you guys come back together, if at all, or what? Chandra, you have your mom you're worrying about, I assuming, who there's an option to go get her today if you go to the old tavern and agree with that Moroccan dude, or I don't know if the party discusses that or what you guys want to do. You also need to get in touch with Geffen to set up the date for the duel, if that is all even a priority for the party to talk about that.
I don't know actually what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I think there's some stuff I need to think through that's a little hard for me to kind of feel into where Bissy's at on it.
Maybe this is a good spot to end then, so everyone can think on these things.
Yeah.
But let's get some experience, because I think y'all are leveling. Each of you can take 8,900 experience. Let's say 9,000. Let's just round it up.
What were we supposed to be at last time?
I got it. Hang on.
Yeah.
That is where we're at now, which is enough to... Wait, did I do the number right? 89900. Yeah, that will level us. Since we were
You guys must have gotten a lot of XP last time.
We were within 1,000.
Yeah, we were really close.
But if there's no more in-game stuff, we can shut the stream down. Thanks for everyone who's watching. GG's and have a good night. Stream.